consideration of that, I ask that you respect the mask requirements. If you are seated at the table, you may have your mask off. If you're having your photo taken within the stanchioned area on the red carpet, you may remove your mask. At all other times, in line for the bar, standing at a friend's table to chat, washing your hands in the restroom, please keep your mask on in proper fashion. Our finalists will be asked to stand when we share a little bit about them on the silver screen. If you're comfortable to do so without your mask, you may. I only ask that if you are announced the winner, please make sure you replace it on your way to the stage to accept your award. And those of you at the award finalist tables, you can nicely put their mask in their hands so that in their dazed excitement they can remember to have that. While the award winners are speaking at the microphone, you may also remove your mask in accordance with Washington State's public speaking guidelines. Now that I've handed you all with that, on to more exciting things. Tonight's dinner will be several courses with wine pairings. We've worked intensively with the staff here at Little Creek to provide another service to you, 250 of Mason County's finest organizations, businesses, and entrepreneurs, a room virtually filled, but not virtually, with VIPs. As we begin, I'd like to share a little information about tonight's service. Prior to the serving of each course, wine will be poured. I encourage you to try each of them paired with the course being served. Even if you don't care for wine, I encourage you to try a few sips with the food itself as it brings out particular flavors. If you don't like the glass of wine, simply leave it at your table. Water will be refilled continuously throughout the service. If you wish to order a different beverage, you can do so at the no-host bars. There's one here to the right. There's one on either side of the back of the room. We added an extra one because we thought you guys might be thirsty your first time out in over a year. After each course, your plates will be cleared. Keep in mind that when all of the guests at your table have finished a particular course, the waitstaff will serve the next. If you see one person holding up the table, please feel free to heckle them politely that they need to finish up their meal and get things moving. You should have everything that you need to enjoy your meal. Should you require ketchup, ranch, or a special accompaniment, you can find those out the doors, across the breezeways, in the main casino, and at one of their many choices of restaurants there. At your seat, you'll find tonight's program with the full 4-course menu with the paired wines. On the back side of the menu, you'll find the Ode to 2020, which will be delivered here shortly. Bottom line for tonight is have fun. Enjoy your table mates, cheer on the finalists, and enjoy the show. We try to keep it brief up here so the program is balanced out with you interacting with the other guests. The goal is to celebrate. So now it's my pleasure to introduce tonight's sponsor, who I asked to join me on stage. We'll hear a brief message from Ramon Nunez, the CEO of Little Creek Casino Resorts.
Good evening, everyone. Look at all these people. This is a good sight, right? I haven't been up in front of this many people since I was at a Keith Sweat concert, up on stage, doing the robot. And I wasn't trying to do the robot, it just looked like the robot, but it was a good time. And so I'm extremely excited to be up here in front of you to briefly talk about all the things, or at least acknowledge all the things that we've been through this past year. And whether you've been directly or indirectly affected by COVID-19, it's been very rough on all of us. And so we just need to take a pause to just acknowledge that, and at the same time, think about tonight, and think about the future. So tonight, we're here to acknowledge our local business leaders for their contributions to our community and just overall for being good people. At the same time, it's important for us to acknowledge the strides that we have made and we're going to continue to make. Here at Little Creek Casino, we have made our own strides. We've opened up our bingo sessions. We started last February, and it's gone really, really well. And we're going to have another session next week. And so if you get an opportunity, make sure you come out and enjoy the amenities we have to offer. We've got a lot of good feedback on our bingo, so please come support that operation. We're also getting ready to open up Keno on Monday, and so this is just another phase of us reopening our businesses. Poker, we are planning on bringing back in June, and then we're also planning to bring back or open up our Skookum Spirit Lounge. We're also looking to, we are also working with a third-party vendor to bring sports wagering to the property. And we are going to continue to make large investments into our facility and into our IT infrastructure. But most importantly, we're going to invest in our employees, because we understand that our employees are the foundation of our organization and our community, and we will continue to prioritize them. So on behalf of the Squaxin Tribe and Little Creek Casino Resort, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for your contributions to the community. And before you leave, make sure you stop at the table games and double your money. Don't quote me on that, but make sure you have a good time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ramon. Next up, we'll hear from Norberto Chavez, Becco's Trees and Wood Carving.
Good evening, everyone. I don't see you guys excited at all. Come on. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Let's make this exciting. We've been through a rough year over the COVID-19. Let's make it exciting. Leave everything behind us and let's keep moving on. We can't do anything about it. Come on, guys. Thank you.
Jeff Neely from The Shopper was unable to be here, so I forced him into a video, which he was super excited about, that we'll play now for you.
Hi folks, this is Jeff from The Shopper. Happy New Year, even though we're 2 months into 2021, I'm still about to see the Gala up again. Congratulations to all the finalists. I do know how that feels. And the accomplishments, especially with the pandemic and all that going on, everybody, I'm glad to see that this year is still progressing in their business and everything is doing great. Sorry we couldn't make it, so I wish the best of all, and thank you very much for letting The Shopper be this year and be this sponsor once again.
Thank you. Now we'll hear a word from Forrest Cooper from Cooper Studios, who's photographing tonight's event.
Thank you so much, and of course, have wonderful wife Amy here. She is, everybody knows that she's the brains behind the operation. I'd say I'm just the pretty face, but that doesn't go very far anymore. So how's everybody doing tonight? You know, I gotta say this is really pretty surreal being here, because I believe last year's event was one of the last group events that happened before everything hit. And so it's wonderful that we've all made it this far to be here tonight. And I just want to give a big shout out to Heidi and Deidre and the rest of the chamber for finding a way to have a safe event. Very awesome job. And then I think I got to share at least one COVID story. Let's do that. Y'all got one. Raise your hand if you got a COVID story. Not of getting COVID, but let's say a quarantine story. How about that? Okay, yeah, we all got them. So we actually, last year, right before the pandemic hit, we had just worked on a large job for the new Mason Clinic. And we created a bunch of artwork for their new building, and it was feeling really great throughout the entire job. Our daughter just kept saying, "Hey, Dad, when are you going to come home?" And I'm like, "Well, as soon as we're done with this, we're going to go to Disneyland." So we had the grand opening of the new Mason Clinic at the end of February, and we're all excited, and they closed Disneyland. So we are still waiting to go to Disneyland, and we are excited to go to Disneyland. So the next thing that happened, besides Disneyland getting shut down, we then became a non-essential business. And I know there's many of you out there who know how that feels. And Amy and I one day, we said, well, we're doing okay. We just had this large job. We're not panicking yet. We're okay. And I looked at her and I said, hey, I think I have a way for us to be essential. She said, how's that? I said, well, we just invested in all this equipment for doing acrylic fabrication. I wonder if the hospitals need acrylic barriers. So she sent a text right then. She gets an immediate reply from one of the hospitals saying, oh my gosh, we hadn't even thought of that yet. Thanks for thinking of us. You're on a conference call tomorrow at 10 a.m. We were immediately essential again. Yay! So then it really hit. Most of you know I suffer from some pretty extreme OCD. I have for decades, and I'm pretty much a germaphobe and a half. She gave me that news that they were going to go ahead with doing these barriers, and all of a sudden I just went, oh no, I'm going into the eye of the storm. Like, I'm going to the hospital where all the germs are. And I just got to say, I got up there, I felt safer in the hospital than I did at the grocery store. Those folks up there, it was amazing to see all of the first responders and the frontline workers responding and adapting while treating patients. I mean, I thought we had a lot to do by adapting, but they were doing it while doing their normal stuff. So I just want to give a big shout out to the hospital and all the frontline workers out there who have done such a great job throughout this. And then for anybody else too who's been feeling kind of that pull, I want you to remember that there are other people in business who have also been feeling that pull and that weight and not quite knowing what to do. And if you could just reach out once in a while to your fellow business person out there and just let them know they're not alone, it really goes a long way. And for all of those resources, definitely go to the chamber, the EDC, all these folks that'll help you find some of that aid and that support that you need. So once again, big thanks to everybody. Big congratulations to all the nominees tonight. And everybody hang in there. Keep smiling, even if it's with just your eyes.
Thank you, Forrest. Now we'll hear from Brad Mccutchen of Bradley Air Company.
Oh, wow. Good evening. So I'm Brad Mccutchen, the owner of Bradley Air Company. I want to congratulate all tonight's finalists. We appreciate you for all you do in the community. It's good to see so many people in the crowd tonight that have faced the year with dedication, perseverance, and success. I began my company in 2017 with just me and a van. So we purchased Arch Mechanical at the end of 2020, and now we're running 10 people. So. So much of our growth over the past 3.5 years has been made possible because of the people in this county and in this room. We are looking forward to continued growth and moving forward. However, we will not forget where it all started, here in Mason County. So thank you for your time, and thank you for all you do in the community. I forgot my glass.
Thank you. Last but certainly not least, we will hear from Melanie Bacala of State Farm Insurance.
So many of you have asked me if I was going to rap tonight. So there were a couple. So sorry to disappoint you. There were a couple things. Number one, just the bandwidth of doing it. But second, I couldn't find a rap that matched F-COVID. So you're going to get an ode to 2020. All right? And then Carol's already committed to doing the rap with me next year. Chief Carol. All right. So last year, it seems, started out normal. We gathered here all fancy and formal. But that quickly changed. Upside down turned the world. We entered a pandemic where chaos unfurled. People hoarding toilet paper and wipes of the disinfecting variety for reasons beyond understanding as people coped with anxiety. The search began for masks and sanitizing foam, and then, to flatten the curve, we were all sent home. Our world as we knew it screeched to a stop. We pivoted to Zoom and did our best to keep up. Be sure to keep your distance. It's the new normal, they said, and wear your mask everywhere, filled many with dread. But during hard times, up stepped the leaders. Mason Transit pitched in, delivering meals to seniors. PUD set up hotspots for kids in our town, and Domino's kept giving. They never backed down. People flocked to Lake Cushman, wanting to venture about. Outside was the only option, and then even that was shut out. Oysterfest and Forest Festival, our cherished events, were canceled to keep people safe, and though it sucked, it made sense. Acronyms were explained by staff to a T, from SBA to ESD to EIDL to PPP. Our chamber partnered to bring forth the news as programs rolled out, with many options to choose. Great members were lost from our humble hearts. We honor them all and keep them held in our hearts. Richard Del Bosque and Jeff Brady, to name just two. Please rest in love. We will carry on for you. Though it seems things stood still, new leaders came forth. Mike Patty rose to chief, and Pam Bowles captains the chamber up north. Now leading the Squaxin Island tribe, Chris Peters rose higher, and Lynn Eaton took the reins as PUD's Joel Meyer retired. After years with the hospital commission, Scott Hilburn stepped down as Darren Moody steps in. I'm kind of glad he's staying around. Despite all the turmoil, some took an entrepreneurial leap. YSS dived on Hood Canal while Tea's Cafe brought us lots of eats. Smoke and Moe's expanded their space with the move to Grove. Ish P&W opened with local gifts, a full treasure trove. So, here we sit together in this room, not as filled, though it's different. I think we're totally thrilled. Maybe? Okay. All right. So who knows what will come from the rest of 2021 as we get back to normal and vaccines reach everyone. So let's raise our glass to celebrate resilience, to remember those lost, and to remember that we have a future of brilliance. Let's be kind to each other, no matter our difference, and celebrate love, grace, and persistence.
Thank you all. And with that, dinner will commence. It so far. So we're going to occupy just a little bit of your time here for a moment. I think a lot of us looked forward to 2020 because 2019 was such a tough year, or that's what we thought at the end of 2019. And so I think it's particularly important this year to talk about some of the successes that were held in 2020. I know that each of you have your story and what you overcame and where you really persevered. Here's just a couple of the things that we think, myself and staff, think that the Chamber did well this year. So first off, providing critical content. So we, as soon as the world stopped turning and we were all sent home, the first thing that we thought about is, how do we help our businesses figure this out? So instantly, I think that it was the week following the closure, we grabbed the North Mason Chamber and started doing a couple of Zoom webinars, a word that I've come to hate. And then we also created a back to business toolkit. So when things started to reopen, it was very obscure as far as what the protocol was, what the requirements were. And so we built this back to business toolkit so that as people opened their doors, they could find it. As I mentioned, we created a lot of partnerships last year. We reached out directly to the North Mason Chamber, the EDC, the Washington Department of Commerce, the U.S. Chamber, and others, to do what we could to bring insight and experts. There's Pam. Pam's here. Pam began the day after the shutdown began of the North Mason Chamber and has rocked it this entire year. But really, partnerships is the place where we found was our sweet spot, and not talking about who was providing something, but together, collaboratively, we can bring something really important to our community as a whole. The next thing that we really focused in on is virtual promotion. So Deidre had the idea almost instantly to create a Facebook group that was called Mason County Restaurants Takeout and Delivery. And yes. Thank you. Within the first 2 weeks, there was over 2,000 people that were actively using that. Restaurants found that as a way to talk about what had changed in their menus, what their hours were, if they were offering delivery, if they were offering takeout. And a couple of restaurants, one in particular said, you know, this Facebook group itself could be attributed to more than 60% of their business post-COVID, or post-shutdown, so. Additionally, we run the Mason County Job Seekers page. There's about 4,000 people on that. So if you are hiring or if you might be looking, that's also a good place to go to. So as you guys are hiring, shoot us a note, let us know, and we'll post that on the Facebook page for you as well. Communications and outreach changed. We had our quarterly publication be delivered on March 21st. That talked about all of the events that were happening this summer. And so that was outdated the moment that it hit the shelves. So we switched to a monthly publication that was far smaller. And then we revamped our email that typically went out weekly, talked about all of the events, what was happening with business, and basically just directed people to, here's a bill in the legislature you need to pay attention to. Here's money that's available to your business. Here's a webinar that you can watch if you weren't able to make it. So we tried to make that as easy as possible for people to access. If you're like me, it's really difficult in the middle of the day, but I'm at 3 o'clock in the morning, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about this. And so to be able to pop online and be able to review that has been responded to really well. Lastly, Galvanizing People. We realized that people desperately needed to look ahead, and I think that tonight's event is indicative of that, as far as we need something to feel a sense of community. We need to gather, and if we can do it in a safe way and we can make things happen, then let's do it. So, thank you. So we did a sneak peek of the YMCA, which is actually a virtual event. We revived the Christmas lights competition with Salita Johnson and her son Isaiah. Campaigned folks to shop local, and then of course we cut down, drug across the land, and delivered the trees for the Christmas tree maze for the second year in a row. So this is a photo of those volunteers that gave up their Saturday to make that happen. So I think that the moral of the story is that even at the worst, darkest year that we possibly have been through, is that Mason County really is an incredible place. We have people that are willing to step in, people that are willing to give where they can, and people that are willing to support their neighbors in ways that many other communities don't. So to you, I appreciate you. So we're going to keep this going just for a couple more minutes. So at this point, I'd like to invite up the 2020 president of the board, Marty Crow of Habitat of Mason County, as well as the 2019 president of the board, Lisa Perry of Sierra Pacific.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for letting me take just a minute to thank Lisa Perry for a great year as the 2019 Chamber President. A couple of things I wrote that I think are important to mention about Lisa. One is that as a board member working with Lisa, I always felt she had a finger on the pulse of everything going on in the community, especially those things that affected our membership at the Chamber. Another great thing that Lisa was a huge supporter of and drove was she calls it the GAC Committee, also known as the Governmental Affairs Committee. And every time she said the word GAC, I laughed a little bit. But Lisa helped drive that committee and helped bring a bunch of stakeholders in our community into that committee on a regular basis to get their feedback and help drive initiatives forward. Again, especially focused on things that affected our membership. And the last thing I want to say is I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for your mentorship. And most of all, I want to thank you for your friendship. Thank you for being our 2019 president. And many of you may not know the role here, but Lisa stepped off our board in December. And I'm an outgoing president now, so a year from now I'll be off the board. I'll be sitting in the audience as an outgoing president. Or as a past president.
It's a really fun club to be in, that past president.
Yeah. There's a lot of them in the room.
Yeah.
So I know Will Johnson's here. I saw him somewhere.
Yeah.
And probably a few others. All right. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you.
Anything else? Oh, you're bringing the board up.
So So at this time, I'd like to invite up the 2021 board members. That includes, of course, past President Marty Crow, past President Marty Crow in 2021. It is very confusing. President Melanie Bacala of State Farm Insurance. President-elect Ashley Brady of Brady Trucking and Landscape Supply. Treasurer Lisa Woodard, Columbia Bank. Eileen Bailey, EI Kristen and Son Construction. Kelly Crabtree, Artegan, Maple Glen Senior Living. Tanya Frazier, Crossroads Housing and Martha Reed Foundation. Stephanie Fife, Steph's Espresso. Mandy Harlow, the Salmon Center. Jamie Mal, John L. Scott and Mal Property Management. Michael Peters, Squaxin Island Tribe. CJ Sang, Joe's Market and Shell Gas Station. Kyle Scara, Builders First Source. And Randy Smith, Shelton Athletic Club. Oh, I'd also like to invite up the Honorable Judge George Steele. That's fine.
Hello, everybody. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully execute the duties of board member? I do. Okay. You got that?
Yeah, you guys are welcome to say up for this if you'd like. Actually, it'd be fantastic. So, it would really be a mistake if we didn't take this opportunity. Thank you. I'm such a rookie. To recognize another important milestone. For those who don't know her well, Marty and I'd like to share a little bit about Heidi and the achievement because she marked 10 years during COVID.
In the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah. You want to tell a little bit about?
Sure.
Marty's going to put on
I'll get close now.
Yeah.
Heidi was born and raised in Shelton. She is a proud Shelton High School graduate. Attended the University of Washington. I saw a Washington mask on. Was it earlier? Yeah.
Go Dogs!
And she transferred to Concordia University where she earned a bachelor's degree in business admin with a focus on marketing and economics. She's so out of her expertise here. Marketing and economics, she put the degree to good work in the real estate industry, working for a title and escrow company in Thurston County before attaining a real estate license in 2006.
And so 3 years later, she and her husband Brad moved back to Shelton. She began working as a realtor and also part-time as a membership director at the Shelton-Mason Chamber. And then we hired her as our executive director. And she's volunteered on numerous boards. And the thing about Heidi is she has a very strong sense of community pride and excels at building partnerships to advance the local area. And she keeps the chamber and the community in focus and works tirelessly behind the scenes and really the focus is to accomplish more together.
Heidi has so many well-deserved accolades. Along the way, she was honored as 40 under 40 by South Sound Business Examiner.
That's amazing.
That was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Examiner in 2017 and was tapped to serve on the boards of both Washington Chamber of Commerce Executives and Washington Association of Chamber Executives. Although there are too many to list a few of the Chamber's successes, I know she is most proud of are moving to a tiered dues structure, coordinating the Shelton Downtown Visioning Plan, taking our newsletter to the public-facing business matters, implementing an annual survey, ongoing workforce development efforts from Lemonade Day to academies, expanding tourism services, rebranding and launching a new website, and developing public policy handbook. But wait, there's more.
And there's more. Hey, Vanna, will you bring that up here for me? That's my banner right there. Bring it up here. Oh, thank you. So we've grown to nearly 400 members, representing 6,000 plus employees, and it's really a testament to Heidi's leadership and her reputation the Chamber has earned during her tenure. She's really a champion for the community. So I just want to extend our thanks as a board, as a community.
You guys know about this? Yeah.
And wishing you a very happy anniversary. As a board, we went in and just bought you a little something. We understand you removed your hot tub and doing an outdoor kitchen. So, do you want to pull that off, Marty?
You can just grab the corner and pull it.
So, who can answer what's Heidi's favorite drink? So, a little outdoor cooler with some bubbles from the board. So, Heidi, thank you for everything you've done.
That ought to keep the bubbly cold.
They were not supposed to do that. You know, one of the things that I've realized is really hard for me to do is to take a moment and look at where we've come, because I'm one of those that once we get to here, how do we get to here? And then what's next after that? And so just hearing a couple of those things and where we were when I started volunteering with the Chamber and where we are today, the staff that I have, the impact that we can make, and the number of businesses over the last year that have told us that we have had such a large hand in their continued success is really special. So I'll stop talking now, but thank you. Thank you. You all are in trouble, but thank you.
You gotta show it off like this. There you go. Yeah, that's how you do it. Nice.
take him up and come up here, the nose starts moving.
I know.
Probably shouldn't say annoying.
It's a mess. Okay, I'll let you use that, and I'm going to use this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the part that you've all been waiting for. So we are ready to begin the presentation of the awards. You're so excited about that. All right. So first up is the President's Choice Award, and President of the Board 2020, Marty Crow, got to select this.
Thank you very much, by the way. Do we watch the video first?
Yes.
Okay.
The President's Choice Award. This year's President's Choice Award was selected by 2020 President. The President's Choice Award. This year's President's Choice Award winner was selected by 2020 President of the Board, Marty Crow. This year's honoree has a lifetime of service, volunteering his time and knowledge, even traveling internationally to help others. Locally, he's volunteered in leadership positions for nearly 2 decades. With his time at Habitat for Humanity of Mason County, he has helped build new homes for dozens of families and has impacted hundreds more through the renovation program, changing the lives of so many people in our community for the better. He has served as board president and construction committee chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, the President's Choice Award goes to Henry Bernacki.
Hey, Henry, do you want to go there? Henry, can you join me on stage? President's Choice Award. So a couple of things, real quickly, I don't have a maybe 10-minute speech for Henry, but no, I'll keep it brief. I want to thank you first for your service and your support of the Habitat mission. You have improved the lives of many families and countless community members here in Mason County. Through your ministry in Mason County, you've supported these families for many, many years through Habitat and many other organizations you've been a part of, including your church. We rely greatly on your servant leadership style. We rely greatly on your technical expertise in guiding our construction effort. Henry's been the construction committee chair for the whole time I've been at Habitat. And on behalf of the Habitat families, the Habitat community, Mason County, I want to thank you for your many years of support and leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please. Next up is the Volunteer of the Year, selected by the Chamber, presented by Heidi Mccutchen.
Volunteer of the Year. This year's Volunteer of the Year has a range of experience from manufacturing to education and lends her vast knowledge to local and regional efforts. While this year made traditional volunteering difficult, she made it a priority to reach out often to simply check in, offering advice and assistance from afar, while also logging endless virtual hours towards many initiatives and causes. She happily lends a hand, never hesitating to jump in wherever and whenever help is needed, although she is reluctant to accept the credit she is due. A past president of the Chamber Board and a current Government Affairs Committee chair, this year's Volunteer of the Year is Lisa Perry of Sierra Pacific Industries.
Is she in the room? Oh, she's out of the room.
Maybe we can replay that, Deidre? we're just gonna wait for a minute. Marcus, can we get that turned up, please? Thank you. We're just gonna give that a minute. Okay. Wait. No, Deidre, sorry.
This is like the Wizard of Oz. It's a little bit like the Wizard of Oz. There's somebody behind this curtain. There's Lisa.
Volunteer of the Year. This year's Volunteer of the Year has a range of experience in manufacturing and education and lends her vast knowledge to local and regional efforts. While this year made traditional volunteering difficult, she made it a priority to reach out often to send and check, offering advice and assistance from afar, while also launching endless virtual hours towards many initiatives and causes. She happily lends a hand, never hesitating to jump in wherever and whenever help is needed, although she is reluctant to accept the credit she is due. Past president of the chamber and a current government affairs committee chair, this year's Volunteer of the Year is Lisa Perry.
It's kind of like one of those Academy Award things, I guess. So, this is more than shocking. I can't even imagine what to say here. It's been such a pleasure. I moved here in 2016, and I've lived in timber towns, or former timber towns, or timber towns almost my entire life, and I have never been as accepted and welcomed in a town as I have in this one. So I totally appreciate you welcoming me here and letting me be part of this wonderful community, and I hope we all just keep understanding how much potential we have here and how much we need to work toward that. So thank you.
Next up is the Rookie of the Year. Do you want me to read that?
Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year is awarded to the company opening a storefront or beginning operations within the past 2 years, fulfilling a gap in services and or providing benefit to the community at large. The finalists for Rookie of the Year are Ish P&W. Ish P&W is a collaboration of local crafters, artists, makers, and entrepreneurs to showcase the talents of our community in an Etsy-esque brick-and-mortar storefront on Railroad Avenue. They quickly pivoted their business plan through their vendors to provide essential items like face masks and hand sanitizer, which customers were clamoring for early in the pandemic. The retail space now offers locally handmade items from 140 plus local vendors and features unique gifts, clothes, toys, decor, and more, showing their pride in representing the best of Mason County. Sunshine Creations Northwest. Sunshine Creations Northwest is a gallery along the waterfront in Hoodsport. Opening their doors with just 12 local artists, they now host more than 100, ranging in ages 8 years old to 85 years old. The gallery displays a wide range of unique and eclectic creations, carrying items and pieces of art for purchase whose proceeds go to the local food bank. And they donate every Christmas to filling stockings for the kids. During the early pandemic closures, they focused on supporting their artists by building up an online gallery and virtual storefront, recently finishing an open air space for artists and art classes. Tea's Cafe and Espresso. Tea's Cafe and Espresso is an eatery and coffee shop in downtown Shelton that has quickly gained a loyal clientele. The cafe is open daily and serves coffee, salads, paninis, wraps, baked treats, as well as grab-and-go lunches and snacks. Open for just 1 week before the state closed indoor dining, they quickly changed their model to affordable takeout and delivery options. Tea's Cafe sponsored a giving tree at Christmas, Together with their customers, they supported 15 families and 50 children. Overcoming a uniquely difficult inaugural year, Tea's Cafe is set to nearly double its space of their dine-in area. And this year's award goes to Ish PNW.
Wow, what a year, guys. Yeah, I did not see this in my crystal ball, what was gonna happen. COVID-19, we opened, what was it, 2 weeks before the shutdown. Like they said, we had to pivot, absolutely, everybody had to pivot. But hey guys, Mason County, Heidi, you guys are hot. All of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, this is awesome. Woo!
Next up is the Nonprofit of the Year.
Nonprofit of the Year. Nonprofit of the Year. Nonprofit of the Year is the organization who strongly impacted Mason County through service, volunteerism, donations, and activism. The finalists for Nonprofit of the Year are Crossroads Housing. Crossroads Housing strives to end homelessness, focusing on achieving greater self-sufficiency and stability through permanent affordable housing in Mason County. A drastic increase to the housing crisis directly connected with COVID-19 over the last year led them to work tirelessly to secure grant funding that provided rental assistance, diverted clients from homelessness, and increased emergency shelter programs. The nonprofit procured an additional $500,000, which paid past due rent directly to landlords, relieving those experiencing the housing crisis. They also developed new off-site transitionals, keeping an additional 9 families off the streets. Their system currently supports 270 individuals and 93 children. The Economic Development Council of Mason County. The Economic Development Council of Mason County has a focus on promoting, supporting, and advocating for economic stability, vitality, and growth. Today, they are a one-stop shop for site selectors, businesses, and workers interested in moving to Mason County or expanding in the region. Early last year, the EDC began receiving alarming reports, directing the nonprofit to shift its work to administer COVID-related grants and loans, help applicants with federal grant submissions, and provide information and training to support businesses with compliance and necessary shifts to e-commerce, ultimately providing direct support and assistance to over 2,000 businesses in Mason County. The Shelton Eagles. The Shelton Eagles has a long-standing reputation of quietly spearheading efforts to support needs of our community. They expand their impact by partnering with Boy Scout Pack 112, South Mason Youth Soccer Club, Shelton High School Athletics, Crossroads Housing, and Christmastown Kiwanis, just to name a few. Over the past year, the Eagles delivered over 2,000 cooked meals to homebound residents, distributed 50 Halloween fun bags, 65 holiday dinner baskets, and over 140 wrapped children's presents for homeless shelters and social services throughout Mason County. They also rallied to raise $5,000 to help someone facing unforeseen medical bills and another $1,500 to help an individual who lost everything in the fire. And this year's award goes to Crossroads Housing.
Mccutchen by my good friend Tyler over here. Says, Tyler, woo! Says 500,000, but it's 3.2 million. We have kept over 300 families in their homes through this, and we're still pushing forward. I couldn't do it without my amazing team. I think they all thought I was crazy. Some, tattooed hoodlum comes up and says, "Let's end homelessness in Mason County." But they've all stood beside me, my board, my awesome board. I'm not gonna cry, you're gonna cry. My amazing team, I'm super proud, and let's not let the bottom fall out of Mason County, so let's keep landlords, rents happy, and keep that money right here.
As they take their seats for the remainder of the awards, the finalist, as your bio is being read, would you please stand?
All right, next up is Citizen of the Year.
Citizen of the Year. Citizen of the Year is the individual who's made outstanding contributions to enhance the business community and the community at large. The finalists for Citizen of the Year are Jenny Goes. Jenny Goes was born and raised in Shelton and is the proud mom of 2 boys. She has donated her time to boards for youth sports, was vice chair for PCFCU's board, currently serves on the Shelton Youth Connect board, and is an active supporter for housing options for students in transition. The Teresa Johnson Memorial Scholarship, named after her mother, has recognized kids that are doing great things. She also co-hosts Small Town Conversations, a platform for honest discussions about everything from mental health to teenage pregnancy. And recently, again, she's teamed up for Fill the Truck number 5 to spotlight homeless youth issues. Nicole Kirksick. Nicole Kirksick moved to Shelton in 2001 and is a proud high climber graduate. She is now part of the team at the United Way Mason County, where she has become intimately involved with local food banks, other nonprofits, education organizations, and emergency food and shelter programs. Her nominator says, beyond her normal workday, she spends countless hours helping out at our local food bank, playing an active role, donating her time and patience to local organizations and programs. Nicole is a single mom who instills a love of people in her kids, showing them the importance of family and connection and community through her example. Don Wielander. Don Wielander and his wife were both raised in Shelton, where they made a home with their now grown sons. Don retired as a director with Safeway and now lends his business acumen and interpersonal talents to the Shelton School District. This past year, Don created a mentor-mentee program for teachers and local business experts while developing the MET program, giving students the ability to earn industry certifications, preparing them for life after high school. His nominator says he goes beyond the call of duty, leaning on his passion for making things better. Always eager to engage, Don serves on many committees and boards, and he is an active Skookum Rotarian. And Citizen of the Year goes to Don Wielander.
Boy, I'm usually not at a loss for words, but this is shocking to me. Quite surprised. I want to thank the Chamber and all the members. What a beautiful community we live in, and I'm happy to be part of this community. Thank you.
Next up is Boss of the Year.
Boss of the Year. Boss of the Year is an individual who's displayed distinct leadership and commitment to empowering employees. The finalists for Boss of the Year are Holly Cahoon. Holly Cahoon of 2nd Street Design Studios is a second-generation salon owner with 15 full-time employees. Her staff says Holly spent many nights rearranging the salon to make it more accessible so all of us could work, not just one or two, but all employees. It took a lot of time, money, and determination on her part to make sure that we were all going to be able to make an income and support our families. She wanted it to be a safe place for everyone to work and for all of our guests to feel secure and knowing they could come and get their hair done and feel safe. Mendy Harlow. Mendy Harlow worked her way up at the Salmon Center and has served as executive director since 2013. She has empowered her teams by challenging individuals to press outside their comfort zone and recognizes it is really important to help people cultivate their skills and knowledge so they can achieve personal growth and be more fulfilled. She also maintains that much of her team's success relies on a very strong open-door policy. So when in-person contact was limited, she responded to staff working from home by offering her team constant access and creating ways to stay connected via Zoom and the great outdoors. Allison Smith. Allison Smith has been employed at Olympic College for 15 years and was appointed as Shelton's campus administrator in 2017. She has since expanded, revamped, and reinvigorated the class schedule and established new programs, all while strengthening partnerships with the business community. Allison prides herself on boosting up her employees, listening to their daily struggles, and giving them the moral support that they need. Her nominator gushed. She strives to make Olympic College Shelton not only a great place to study, but a wonderful place to work. And this year's award goes to Holly Cahoon of 2nd Street Design Studios.
Thanks so much. This is quite an honor. I want to introduce my team. I'll let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, Kelly. How many years you've worked? Your name and how many?
Hi, I'm Kelly. I am coming up on 2 years with Holly, and she literally is probably the best boss I've had in the 19 years I've been doing hair.
I'm Debbie, been with Holly for 24 years, and she's our chief.
This is Tennessee.
Howdy, y'all. I moved here almost 7 years ago, and Holly gave me a chance that no one else ever would. I'm so appreciative, and she's like a second mom to me. Congratulations.
I'm Chrissy, front desk girl. I've been with Holly for about 5 years now, and she's also a second mom to me.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I've been with Holly for about 8.5 years, and she's amazing.
All right, thank you so much.
I've always kind of thought in my mind that we all need to go to work, so why not make work a place you want to go? This is my work family. I try to lead this family with kindness, flexibility, hard work, and passion. I have loved being a hairstylist for 40 years, but my passion the last 20 years has been teaching up-and-coming stylists to be successful in this profession. Thank you. My work family is very important to me. Thank
Thank you for this honor.
Next up is Business of the Year.
Business of the Year. Business of the Year is the company that made the most significant contributions benefiting the Mason County business community. The finalists for Business of the Year are AAA Septic. AAA Septic was founded in 1993 by owners Dana and Deborah Lovely, who proudly proclaim we're number one and the number two business. They are consistent patrons of community events, faithfully donating services to community parades, Christmastown USA, Toys for Tots, and more. Recognizing the stress of their employees during COVID, they actually increased their pay and trudged ahead as a team. They acknowledge they do not have a glamorous business, yet make it a point to operate with honesty and integrity. Shelton Athletic Club. Shelton Athletic Club, an icon in Shelton since 1989, faced unique challenges during last year's closures. Randy and Liz Smith didn't simply shut their doors. They invested in updates such as painting, resurfacing the pool area, building an outside sports facility, and keeping their staff employed. SAC proved community support by hosting a giving tree for children, raising $8,000 for the school lunch programs, supporting the hospital foundation, and donating equipment to several organizations. Williams Architecture. Williams Architecture, owned by Len and Janie Williams, was founded in 1986 to provide quality design services. While the company primarily focuses on residential design, Mason County is dotted with commercial projects proudly designed by the firm, including the Shelton Civic Center, William G. Reed Library, and most recently and newly opened Shelton Family YMCA. The company has provided significant pro bono services to Habitat for Humanity, Community Lifeline, Turning Point, Shelton Youth Center, and local churches, just to name a small few. And this year's award goes to AAA Septic. They invested in updates such as painting, resurfacing the pool area, building an outside sports facility, and keeping their staff employed. SAC proved community support by hosting a giving tree for children.
You guys can keep the applause going as they make their way up.
Well, while my wife's hugging everybody, we've been in this county close to 30 years now, and I just want to thank all the board members, what everybody does here. We're like a family, and I just want to thank everybody. I'm speechless. This is crazy. I don't let my wife finish.
No, I don't know what to say. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. We started, my dad actually was the one that said, you should start a septic business in Santa Cans, and we thought he was out of his mind. But we worked in our bedroom, our office was in our bedroom, and we just started with 10 Santa Cans and one little truck, and worked hard at it and loved this community. We're so proud to be here and so thankful. for everything here. This community's been awesome to us. At one point, both our daughters worked for us. We all lived in the same house and worked together. That was a great time. And our oldest daughter is here. She's been with us 7 years. We'd like to thank Wes Graves. We couldn't be where we are without him. He's been with us close to 10 years. So we've had a lot of important people help us to get to this point, and we're just very thankful and grateful. Thank you so much. This means a lot. Thank you.